This is indeed a very interesting question that China's foreign aid projections, which aroused debates not only in China, but outside China as well. What's your opinion on that?
Well, actually, you're in a great luck. I've been doing this job for like more than 8 years. I've been traveling across the continent of Great Africa for many years, and also the Belt and Road countries. Well, I can answer you this question. Well, actually, China is right now growing into the second largest economy of the whole world. As the economy growing up, I think it's duty to help the other countries to coming up. Well, look into all the other countries, great countries in the economy. They're doing the similar things. In America, they have the U.S. aid. It's like international aiding agencies of the United States government, and also they have JICA, the Japanese International, Cooperation Agency. It's also for the international aid, and also they have KOICA, the Korea's agencies, international cooperation, and of course, European Union. So all the developed nations and the regions, they've been doing the similar things because this is called the social responsibilities. Or we call it international social responsibilities, because everybody's doing so. China is following the international standard. I think it's our, due responsibility as a responsible country. Second of all, helping the other people is actually like sending the roses. You also smell the fragrance yourself. One problem is like a lot of people don't understand why we should help the poor people. Right. Actually, the modern economy is suffering from one important problem, not with lack of supply. We have oversupply problems. We don't have enough effective demand. What does it mean? It means you want more people to buy your product. You have very good product. But the problem is that the people don't have enough money to buy it. Everybody would like to have one Apple phone. Everybody would like to have one Huawei mobile phone, but they don't have the income. So we have to empower those poor people to help the whole humanity get into the whole, levels and the ground. So everybody can afford better product. So you goes up and then I catch up, and then I go up, you catch up. So the whole humanity is going to go to higher and higher ground. That's the best thing for all of us. But just imagine, certain small group of people, they have, stand up in very high ground of the income, but most of the people are laying in poverty. So no matter how good you are at the productions, the rest of the people cannot afford it. So your productivity will be wasted. So that's a bad news for all the other human beings. So from both of the moral and economical reasons, I think we should do so.
Right, and so not helping the poor people is going to create a vicious cycle, but China is actually building up a benign cycle instead of that.
Exactly.
All right, let's get back to Liu Chen. Please pass on, apparently Professor Xu is the right person to answer that question. Pass on the answers from Professor Xu to the audience who asked this question indeed. So anything else? Any other questions?
Thank you very much. The second question comes from Facebook user Mike Shop, who is from Germany. He asked, what is exactly the strategic background of the Modern and New Silk Road project in China?
Right. Another one about another big project of China. What's your answer?
So he's sorry, I didn't catch up there.
About the New Silk Road. Actually, I think he's asking about the Belt and Road Initiative.
Oh, about OBOR, right?
Yes.
The Belt and Road Initiative. Well, thank you for our friends from Germany. And Mark, I would like to answer you in this way. Belt and Road Initiative is very important for China and also the Belt and Road countries. You see, there are lots of countries, what we call it in the forgotten area. In some countries, they're in the coastal regions, very developed, is always on the focus of the international news. And also there are some, we call it extremely backwater countries and regions. For example, like some part in Africa, they're extremely poor. So because they're, negative situations, so they also get the international attentions and aids. But there are some countries and regions, they're not that poor, but they are not that developed. They're developing very slowly, but they're in craving for the resources and, good technologies and etc. That's, a lot of Belt and Road countries in the vast region in the Middle Asia and Western Asia and so on. So I think since the whole humanity are relying on the growth of US, China, and the European Union, we don't think this is enough for just the 3 spots in the whole human society to, to boost the economic growth is of all humanity. I think it is time now to empower all the human beings, to empower all the countries, to give them a way out, to give them a hands up. So everybody can have the opportunity to develop. With more and more countries and the regions developing their economy, I think it will benefit all the American companies, Chinese company, Japanese company, and etc. So I think this is our, intention to doing so. And of course, China have a huge, long history. And on this road countries, we have a very good, relationship with them. We have good friendship. So I think why not we're doing that. So, and also we have the reasons I just mentioned before. Empower the other countries, helping the poor countries and poor people is actually empowering ourselves. We're forming a banal circle.